Hello again, everybody. It's me, Sammy here. I'm back again for another video. Back doing one of the response videos. Not one of the ones I said I was going to do. I'll probably get around to doing that at some point. But this one, this is sort of a weekend homework thing. This is the one that I saw pop up on the TFYTC page, and I think I did a similar response video to this sort of question years and years ago. Back when my hair was longer, and back when I was doing toy reviews. Because if you remember, I used to be a toy reviewer back in the day. Allegedly. This particular question, as the title below pretty much says, is it a good time to be a Transformers fan? Is it a good time to be a Transformers fan? Well, I don't know. I have a very weird relationship with Transformers at the moment, to the point where I've sort of drifted away from the whole franchise now. I'm not paying as much attention to the whole shtick as I normally would. Otherwise, I would have bought up every single one of the current toys that Titans Return or Combiner Wars have regurgitated out, and I haven't. So I'm not really much of a joiner in this regard. But at the moment, is it a good time to be a Transformers fan? Because there's a lot going on. Titans Return is coming to an end. The Titans Return cartoon is out. What else? The Power of the Primes line is on the way, and then the Power of the Primes cartoon will be on the way as well. The comics are still going. Lost Light is still going. The movies are sort of what they are. There's the Bumblebee spin-off coming out next year. Transformers Cyberverse is coming out next year. Robots in Disguise 2015 is finished. And is any of that worth the boo-ha-ha of excitement? And does that equal to the amount of, is it a good time to be a Transformers fan today, in this era? Honestly, it is. I mean, with all the good stuff that's currently out there at the moment, it is a good time to be a Transformers fan. Take that with a dump truck of salt if you are looking into what I'm trying to tell you. It is a good time because there's a lot of good stuff coming out, that's bringing in new fans, that's getting a lot of old fans excited, and that's bringing something good for the interest to talk about. So really, there's a lot of good stuff coming out, and here's where I come in. I don't care about any of it, and it's for a very good reason. Where I stand with Transformers at the moment is there's not a lot out there that really stands out to me because I have not really read any of the comic books. I mean, as good as they are, and I've heard that they are good, they're just not made for me. The cartoons already 2015 finished recently, and I don't care. I watched the finale of that, and I thought it was alright. Transformers Cyberverse is coming out, and I honestly don't care about that. It looks fine. Again, it's just not made for me. Titans Return is sort of currently going on, and I stopped watching it within 5 episodes because it was just so boring. And the toys, I don't really want any more of the toys. I've got enough of what I have. Although I do want a Power of the Primes Rodimus Prime. I do like the look of that. I saw a review of that pop up on my Twitter feed on one of the people I follow, and because I don't speak Chinese, because this was a Chinese reviewer who was talking about this, it does actually look really nice. I like the head sculpt. It looks really good. But yeah, honestly, is now a good time? It is and it isn't. I mean, it is for new people, but it isn't for somebody like me, who's a bit of an old prick, who's more into the older stuff as opposed to the newer, nicer content that's out there. Honestly, I mean, it is and it isn't. Let's just call it like a half and half sort of thing. It is a good time because we've got all this new stuff and all this good content coming out, and it's a bad time because there's too much of it, and it's too much of the same thing, and I think that's a little bit of a problem because I don't want to at least accumulate more of what I already own, because with the stuff that I've got, and the comics that I've enjoyed, and the cartoons that I've watched, I'm kind of burned out with Transformers now, if I'm being quite honest. I'm done with it for the moment. I mean, like I said before, I'm at that point where I think that Transformers is kind of, for me at least, it's overstayed its welcome, and I think I'm ready to move on. But if people want to get excited about it, then that's fine. But for me personally, Transformers and the whole shtick, um, it doesn't fly for me the same way that it flies for other people, and maybe that's sort of why I don't really fit into that whole circle of people getting excited about this sort of thing. I mean, more power to you if you're excited. You deserve to be excited about this. Um, but right now, I'm focusing on other stuff. So, is it a good time to be a Transformers fan? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, there's so much good content out there, and I mean, if you're a toy collector, if you're a reader of the current stuff, if you like any of the cartoons, even though you might not be the right age range for it, but then again, I still watch Generation 1, and I'm nearly 30, believe it or not. Um, I would do a vlog about my birthday, but no point. Yeah, so I mean, for adult fans who are very excited about the Masterpiece line, and who are buying up every single Masterpiece figure that they can own, uh, I don't really want any more of that, because it's mostly just of characters of classics figures I already own, and I'm happy with what I've got. There's only so much of the same thing people are okay with that eventually it feels like you're hoarding. And that's kind of where I sort of fall out with that, because with me and Transformers, it's a very exhausting and very... I don't want to say time-consuming hobby, because that's not really the issue. I mean, any hobby is time-consuming. I mean, depending on what it is, and if you have fun with it as well, that's the important thing. But in regards to is it a good time to be a Transformers fan? Yeah, of course it is. I don't see why not. But it sort of really falls into that whole thing of what kind of a fan are you? Are you a fan of the older stuff, like Generation 1, Beast Wars, all that stuff? Or are you a fan of the newer content out there that's mostly aimed for children of this era who are, I wouldn't say a lot hyped about Transformers, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm trying to find. I can't really think of the right word for it to describe children of today who would be into this, who would be into the sort of thing that we are in now. In the era of smartphones and all that sort of thing. I mean, toys and people like us of the ages 30 or onward, still want to keep refueling that fire, and making sure that the hobby lasts as long as possible. But for me personally, I don't really know where I fit into this. So where it comes down for what I'm trying to get at here is, yeah, it is a good time to be a Transformers fan. There's so much good content out there, and I'm not really that keen about some of it though. I'm kind of a bit of a selfish idiot like that, because I still want a mature Transformers cartoon. Can't really call Titans Return or Combiner Wars mature, because reasons I'm pretty sure I'll repeat from other people, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, yeah, I mean, there is that sort of thing with me that I really want something aimed for me, but that sort of thing, that has kind of passed now, and we are where we are. So yeah, I mean, it is a good time to be a Transformers fan, but not in the way that you'd think, because that on one hand you get the fans that are very passionate about the current stuff going on, the comics, the cartoons, the toys, especially the toys, because that's the one thing that's holding this thing up. And then there's the whole shtick of the older fans who are too hardened about the nostalgia and prefer the older stuff and what have you. Fine. Like I said, both fans have the right to exist. If you don't like something, you don't have to watch it. If you like it, then that's good. But me personally, I'm kind of burned out. So I think what I'm trying to really get at is just to kind of bring the rambling to some sort of a conclusion. Yeah, it is a good time to be a Transformers fan. There's a lot of good content out there. Some of it, though, doesn't necessarily apply to what I'm after, because what I'm after, I've kind of already got. So yeah, that's the whole shtick. I'm satisfied. Being satisfied as a fan is a very difficult one, because you kind of want more of the same thing. But but whatever. I mean, it's a very different issue and a very different topic to really kind of bounce around. Um, we are in a good time, and Transformers as a franchise is evolving, and at the same time, we are kind of running that whole nostalgia train of making re-updates of older figures that people have had when they were children in the 80s, with posable limbs and show accurate color schemes and all that shit. Um, I don't know. I mean, there was a time I would have been excited about that, but now I just think it's just too much. It's too much. It's very overwhelming, and I'm just kind of stepping away from all that and being happy with what I've got. Being happy with what you got is better. Um, but yeah, eventually the whole nostalgia thing kind of runs out, and it will run out eventually, much like how chocolate will. But but what I'm trying to get at here is, yeah, I mean, we are in a good time. We are in a good time, and we are in a bad time. We're on a good time because because the new fans that are coming in love this franchise and love all the good things that come with it, and the older generation are um, not all of them, because it seems unfair to just say every single one, but half of the older generation is just pissy moany about the whole fact that, oh well, this isn't G1 anymore, blah blah blah. Um, I'm guilty in that regard to be part of that category, but I'm sort of moving away from that and accepting that Transformers as a franchise has grown up beyond what it used to be 30 years ago, and can be whatever the fans want it to be. So yeah, we are in a time where we can appreciate the new stuff, and at the same time appreciate the older stuff, because appreciation for older things is just as important, if not needed, because if you forget about the older stuff, then your nostalgia's gone. Take that for what it is. But at the same time, though, new stuff and old stuff, bringing the bridge together and seeing what one can come up with, is also a good thing. So yeah, I think we are in a good time to be a Transformers fan. But for the most part, though, most of what out there at the moment just isn't made for me, and that's all I've really got to say on that.